Hey guys, D.Bowie here. It's very rare to have the opportunity to witness high MMR players climbing the ladder in low MMR Smurfs. Ever since the Juice MMR experiment, I always wanted to make videos on these kinds of experiences, and with Waga playing in his 3K Smurf, because of the AC, I feel like this is great timing. On top of that, we have access to his commentary as he plays, so I want to show how pro players approach low MMR games. There is this prevalent notion on low MMR games that everything is decided by the last specific ally mistake that lost the game, when it's very common that lost games are just a combination of different mistakes that went on the draft, in your lanes, in your items. Not only your ally heroes keeping BKB or someone dying in a dumb way. So in this game he ends up randoming Wraith King and goes jungle with him. The first important fact to consider in this game was already mentioned. The fact he can random and start with Iron Talon and Quelling Blade straight away allows him to go for a very greedy playstyle. Yes, not only you can cut twice as many trees, you get the bonus damage from each item separately. On a hero like Wraith King that gets double the damage from crits when he's hitting creeps, allows him to go jungle with level 1 crit instead of lifesteal, really increasing his damage output, without having regen and actually surviving. But pay attention, it's not only that, he uses the ramp to take less damage, and he also finishes the camp before the 1 minute mark while saving the Iron Talon cooldown for the next wave. This guarantees level 2 without him needing to go back to base or stay too low on HP. It's unheard of to go jungle with a melee hero without stealth shield, so it's natural for him to bring Self, and this very early level 2 really ramps up his farm since he never needs to go back to Fountain anymore.
What? He reused the courier right there, please. Millisecond later, please.
Another interesting and critical aspect of Waga's farming in the jungle is the farming pattern. In other words, where he decides to start and then the subsequent order of camps he farms. By starting in that large camp, he ends up finishing the jungle exactly at 3 minutes, allowing him to keep farming the jungle as he goes back. The decision to go Blightstone is something a lot of low MMR players always skip to. People oftentimes rush Naked Midas on the hero, and while the item isn't inherently bad, it doesn't mean you're farming at high speeds. Not only because you're slow, and Boots does increase your farming speed since it increases the speed that you go from camp to camp, since you actually farm the camps fairly fast, you're just very slow, but also because you stay with 1.5k dead gold in your inventory until you actually have Midas ready. At 4 minutes, with his build, he already is level 5 and starts farming Ancients, and guess what? New jungle respawn and he starts farming from the beginning of his jungle towards the safe lane. Good junglers have the benefit of making use of the jungle in a way that he gets as much farming experience than he would get in lane. That's for sure happening here. Great junglers though are the ones that can either gank early or defend themselves against aggression or people leeching their experience. Enigma and Chen are the ones that come to mind. This is a pretty good jungle game, since the enemy has 3 cores and that Koto isn't the safest hero to be roaming and contesting a Wraith King. But to be honest, it would be fairly easy for River and Gyro to contest Waga in this game. But they didn't, and now he's in a position that he can zone Gyro out of the jungle himself. Let's listen to his take on the farming pattern to see that it's not just a coincidence he happened to farm everything so smoothly.
Let's start left, move right, and then go into this jungle. That's the plan. Take everything in our jungle, go there.
He ends up going for Hand of Midas after Treads, which can be surprising for some, since he's Smurfing at all, just let's be greedy, right? Let's just go first item Midas. But Treads probably increases his farming power at the early stages more than Midas, while also having easy to purchase components and being cheaper. It also allows him to take Gyro out of the jungle for instance, and go for Midas later without suffering so much. He was not experience deprived at all, which is usually one of the reasons to go Midas. In fact, he was the first hero to get level 6 and probably top of the net worth as well. I also Creedgasm with the TP usage. After farming all that jungle, he even TPs to the other shrine to see if he can kill the Ancients and stack them again to farm even more. I'm pretty sure there's no jungler in the game that can do this so early and so fast. You might be wondering why he doesn't have ult since he's level 7 now, so I guess that hearing from him is just better.
What's the value of not leveling ulti? Sometimes you find yourself in the position where you're so dead that it doesn't matter if you respawn with a reincarnation, you're just gonna die again. So it's for those situations. We don't want to waste our super long cooldown.
The end result is a 10-minute Midas and almost level 11 by going jungle. Part of it is definitely the opponent's inexperience, but I would say that 70% of the game until now were good farming decisions, and definitely the skill, build and item choices that ramped up his farm without making him too successful for ganks or just getting too low in the jungle. Another very important aspect of him succeeding in that game, and that can go completely unnoticed by him just strolling around afterwards.
Ah! Lifesteal to live! No!
Is how he goes towards the enemy jungle as he's about to get level 12. The best case scenario for any Wraith King, especially when you didn't get your ult for so long, is to fight with level 2 reincarnation, and by being positioned in that area close to the tier 1, he's able to join a fight instantly. With level 2 ult, he has nothing to lose if he dies there, and they get 2 kills while he maintains with no shadow of a doubt as the top farmer, and he even ends up dying for the lose.
What? I slow. Okay, I don't slow. Ah! Lifesteal to live! No!
He keeps on jungling while reincarnation is on cooldown, and pay attention how he sends himself a TP as he leaves the jungle because his ult will be ready. So he can join fights if something happens close to him, as well as fights close to other buildings. In the end, he finds the Invoker close to the Roshan pit and listen to what he says.
Oh, he sees me. That's sneaky.
He instantly understands that it's nighttime and Invoker shouldn't be able to cast spells from the fog like that without some sort of vision. So even though he's ridiculously strong right now, with his ult, he disengages because, well, EMP. And also, it's pretty good to avoid fighting under enemy ward vision when you can. After that engagement though, he gives up on fighting for that moment and just ramps up his farm even more. But he isn't doing that aimlessly. He checked the shrine duration and he's basically creating pressure in the bottom lane, the lane that is further away from Roshan.
Okay, 20 seconds for the shrine. I'm gonna TP, shrine, Roshan, the nations.
One important aspect to note here is how patient he is with everyone. He knows for like 5 seconds that Invoker is there, he doesn't rage, he calmly says.
Invoker's here, man. Hello. Can I help you, mage?
They get the kill, but he commits one pretty common mistake, which is going aggressive with the stun.
Oh. Oh, I missed the crit. Sad face. Oh shit, I should not have done that. Whoops.
He even tried to switch it, but I guess he miscalculated the mana just a little bit. This of course is also a consequence of his ridiculously greedy build, which didn't have Magic Wand or a Mango. As he goes back, he buys a Blink Dagger, which for this game feels like one of the best items possible. Radiant has a lot of stuff that can kite him and slow him. Mana Leak, Blink Dagger, Missile, Tornado. If he has to walk towards the fight, he will always be at disadvantage even if he's twice as farmed as anyone. Blink Dagger allows him to instantly close the gap and kill people regardless of their elusiveness. I also like that he dished the Quelling Blade and got himself a Mango. Yeah, Magic Wand is quote-unquote better, but he wants Aegis and Mango is just a cheaper version that he can get rid of after a fight. They end up getting tons of kills because of Blink Dagger, and I like that he tries to take the tier 1 before attempting Roshan. There's no item that would allow him to make use of the network advantage he created, as well as Blink Dagger. He shoves him the lane in the tier 2, all the enemies shows up there, and since his allies are there, he has vision, thus security that the Roshan attempt is doing fine. There's really no secret after that. With Aegis, it's natural for his team to group up, and they end up getting the tier 2s, and eventually they easily win the game.
Team? Holy shit, they're doing the runaway. Alright, we lost the Divine.
Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fog, Munib, and get better at the game. They have now great content on the new patch, and if you want to raise your MMR, this is a great time. Just figure out the patch faster than others and get those easy wins.